Hi, welcome to NDE TV. I'm Peggy Robinson. Today's guest is Angela Paulson, and this is her first time sharing her near-death experience publicly. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Peggy. Thanks so much for having me on.
Well, thank you for hooking up, and I'm glad we're here. And so you can start wherever you like. Take as long as you like.
Okay, thank you. I hesitate to call it an NDE per se. It would probably fall more likely into the OBE category, but it was definitely on the other side, definitely, and a very, very profound experience. So I guess some backstory would be in October of 2018, my sister was tragically killed in a car accident. She was ejected from the car, and basically, death was instantaneous. And it was not a very good time for either one of us. We were not expecting her to go as soon as she did, and as sudden and as swift as she did. Um, and I was still dealing with it. When she first passed away, there was like a multitude of emotions. There was relief, there was anger, and there was sadness and regret. Because the sadness and regret is, well, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but the last time I saw my sister alive, we had a really bad fight, and I didn't reach out sooner to make amends with her, and so it's definitely hard when you are bitter and you realize that you should have reached out. But so she passed in October of 2018. This experience took place in August of 2020. I don't recall the exact date that this happened, but I didn't have like a tunnel or anything like what happens with other people have had. Mine happened in the dream state. Um, I had gone to sleep. I was dealing with, a lot of regret and emotions. It wasn't quite 2 years. It was 2 months shy of her 2 year death anniversary, and there was still a lot of unprocessed emotions and everything else that I was dealing with at the time. Um, and so this was in August of 2020. I just went to bed one night, and next thing I know, I'm I'm being summoned. I guess is the best way to say it, to the other side. Um, like it was just like I was there. Like there was no tunnel, there was no, precursors or anything like that. But I was in front of God, I guess you could say, or the light, or whatever, and my spirit guide, Allie, was her name. I actually met Allie. I met her for the first time in 2013, but not on a conscious level. She came in one of my dreams, but then I found out she was my spirit guide in 2019, and I've always been very spiritual, and we've done OBEs and lucid dreams, but this was not like that. This experience was not like that. This was like I was just like summoned to the other side. And I don't even remember anything prior to that. I just know that I was there, and that Allie was there, and that God was there. And basically, Allie kind of explained to me, because you might have heard when other people share their stories, and it's so true, that the earth is a classroom, it's where you go to learn. Well, the other side has schools as well, and places to learn knowledge as well. And this was one of those times, I guess you could say, that I was there to learn knowledge. I and also to kind of have uh, um a lesson, I guess, if you will. Basically, I had been dealing with a lot of guilt from my sister's death, and Allie Allie basically told me that, I guess I was going to be given some kind of test, I guess you could say, to see how I would handle things. Because, the lesson from the other side is that we should all love one another and, you know, love each other. And, I'm still working on that as part of my spiritual journey and my journey on this earth. It's a struggle. So the test was because in the physical world you can't manipulate time and space, but in the astral world you can. So I was sent back in time. I guess the best thing I can call this, I guess, would be a simulator of sorts, because you can't change history. You can't. Um, so it was a simulator, but it was to test to see if, how I was doing on my mission, if I had learned my lesson, if I still had a ways to go or not. And so basically I had gone back in time, but the simulation was a bit different because I wanted to experience, I wanted to save my sister. I wanted her to be on the earth longer. But in this simulation, instead of her being ejected from the car, she was a pedestrian, which was kind of strange how the other side does things. But basically, I went back in time to save her, I guess, in this simulated test. But I needed some cooperation. Now, she's technically my half sister. We don't have the same mom, but I still consider her sister just the same. Well, her mom and I guess to put it to put not bluntly, but to put it succinctly, but also nicely, we can be like oil and water. We don't always mix. So basically, I tried to tell her that, we needed to save my sister's life. And she seemed to go along with it. And so I went into the simulation and I saved her. I was able to, basically, in the simulation, a drunk driver was going to hit her, and I saved her. And I, brought her back. But, and, it was like a victory. And then after she had, gone back to what she was doing, this was where the test began. Basically, what they were testing is the whole thing about loving one another. And her mother was basically in this simulation being very mean, calling me a bunch of names, saying a bunch of really just not nice things to try to hurt my feelings. And, she kicked me out of the car, and I was angry. And I thought, what if I undid what I just did? What if I undid everything and just let her die? Because I was so angry. And, in the real world, in this physical life, sometimes it's so hard to get out of that mentality, out of that mindset where you want to get at someone. You want to make them pay back for what they've done or how they've done you wrong, and you want to get back at them. is basically essentially what uh what the scoop is, I guess, in this world. You want to get back at them. And basically I wanted to. I was so angry. I wanted to. But then I thought to myself, well, okay, supposing that this was, real and I just saved her, supposing this was, well, if I undid everything that I just had done, that she would not be the only one affected if my sister died. It would affect everyone, and everyone would suffer. It wouldn't be just one person, and so it was best that I not. It was best that I leave things the way they were. And as soon as I thought that, I could sense two spirits. I smell, like, Allie and I have this signal. Like, I will smell roses when she wants to talk or when she's come to visit or if she has a message. So I smelled roses, and then she was there. And she said that she was very proud of me, that I had done really well. And then I saw my sister. And this was the part that was really deep and emotional for me, because this was the part where basically my sister and I made amends for our fight. And, we hugged, and it was really real. Like, she was there, and I felt her and everything. And she told me that she forgave me for not reaching out and for how I handled things in the fight. I told her that I forgave her, and God was like up above, and I could feel that He was proud, that my sister was proud, that Allie was proud, and the next thing I know, I'm back in the physical world. And so that was my experience on the other side.
Now, since you're blind, was you able to see during this? You say you saw your sister. Is that just a figure of speech or?
I was able to see her, but um, I was able to, like, actually see her. I do have a little bit of vision in real life, and most of my dreams, like, and this is why I say was definitely astral. Most of my dreams, I have the same amount of vision as I do in real life, but I could see her, I could sense her, I knew she was there, and everything else.
Why do you suppose you had this? Do you think it was an emotional breakdown?
Um, I don't really know. I think it was, um, I think like they said, they did want to test me, because there are, different lessons, and maybe I was at a time in my life where I was not stable emotionally, and maybe they decided that they wanted to test me to see how I was going to react. I honestly don't know. Also, maybe it was a way to help me to get that closure that I never had when I lost my sister.
It sounds like it. Now, you say you met this guide, Allie, in 2013?
Oh no, I met her when I was 13.
Oh,
I met her when I was 13 years old. That would have been in 2001 for the first time,
okay.
before I knew that she was my spirit guide. I found out 6 years later, so that would have been in 2007 when I was 19, that she was my spirit guide. So I didn't realize that until 6 years later, but I met her when I was 13 years old.
How did you meet her?
She came into my dream, and we were doing some kind of, and this was just a regular dream, I know that, because I knew nothing about lucid dreams or OBEs or anything like that. I was too young. I didn't know anything about that at that age. But it was just a regular dream, and um, in her past life, and she showed me in her past life, she used to be a performer. So she basically, I guess, was including me in that dream and making me a star. She made me a star of the show, and we were performing in front of a huge crowd.
Hmm. Was your vision better in your dream or was it normal, how you normally see then?
It was normal. It wasn't better or anything like that.
Was this last experience with your sister, was that OBE, was that the only time your vision was better than it is normally in a vision or dream?
I've had other OBEs where I could see better and dreams that I could see better, but usually for the most part, my vision is the same. Physical vision, but my inner vision, I can see like my third eye, and I can see a lot clearer. I actually, I in the physical world, I've been blind my whole life, but you know, I can feel spirits around, and I can see things usually that they tell me, but so that kind of makes up for physically not being able to see.
How long have you been able to see spirits around?
Um, let's see. I started my spiritual journey at age 19. Um, I'm trying to think when was the first time I channeled a spirit. I think in my 20s, like maybe 25 or 20. No, 21 would be more accurate. I think probably like 21 years old.
You just started channeling and then started seeing spirits?
Yep, I've had spirits come visit me, both in the physical and in the astral, and I can communicate with them.
What kind of things do they tell you?
Uh, well, I had done a reading for someone who lost his dad, and basically his dad wanted me to tell him that he was proud of him and that he loved him. So that gave him some closure. Messages like that. Um, Sometimes Allie will give me messages like, or I'll get messages in the form of like intuition. Like I'll get um, a knowing feeling, just like I just know what the message is. It's like this gut instinct that I know whether to do something or not to do something, or if someone is feeling a certain way, like a spirit is. I don't I don't really know how to be. I'm not really an empath when it comes to the living, but I can like feel spirits. Like I can feel their emotions and everything else.
So you do readings?
I have um my I have done readings. I don't really charge for readings. I mostly do them for friends at this point, but I have done them
Do you do them
before
in person or do you do them online?
remotely. I did it remotely.
So like me right now, like can you pick up on any spirits?
Um, I do sense somebody, but I sense more like a feminine type energy. But yeah, I'm definitely sensing something feminine right now. But I can't quite place what it is at the moment. But usually the way I do a reading is a friend, like they'll give me the name of someone they want me to look up, and then I'll do that. But it's not my primary thing because I don't always get communications from them. They message me when they want to. So like I don't have control of the channel. I mean like I open the channel, but I don't like um what's the word I'm looking for? I don't usually they're the one that starts the communication. I don't start it. I just
So
open it
if
so
I
they
gave
can
you a
start.
name, do you think that would help?
Possibly. Yeah.
Janice?
Yeah, I did notice a feminine spirit. Janice. Was she it seems like you had a really close relationship with Janice. Like very, very close relationship with her. Was she kind of like a motherly sort of individual?
Yes.
Did she um yeah, she's very I'm getting a very motherly feminine. Yeah, that's who I was picking up on. I just didn't know the name. But very feminine motherly energy is what I'm picking up on. Janice, was she older?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think. I'm not sure how old. That part I um like let's see. Yeah, she was an older person and very warm and motherly, very happy person too. Seems like she has a really happy, sunny disposition. Am I right about that?
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Hmm.
Um, sorry, I don't do that great when I'm put on the
It's okay.
spot.
That's okay.
I do give readings, but usually when I'm put on the spot, I wasn't expecting to do a reading, so it's like,
I wouldn't either. So I just thought,
um,
well,
let's see. Janice is. She does have a sunny disposition, but that's why I was wondering if I was right about that, because it seems like it seems like she did go through a lot, but she tries, but it seems like she's gone through like a lot of hardships and stuff in her life, but she's tried to be positive and about it. She does seem really happy. At least now on the other side, that's how she comes across.
good.
And she does really care about you. I can tell that. Janice.
Okay. I was just curious.
She says she cares for you and loves you. Is the message I'm getting.
It's funny because one day, it's my mother-in-law. She passed 3 years ago, and she says, "Well, I mean, I like." She couldn't say it.
FaceTime. Speech off.
Don't choke on it there, Janice.
So somebody was trying to call me. I'm like, why are you calling me? Seriously? I'm in the middle of this. Yeah. But no. Well, so she passed 3 years ago. You said.
Yeah,
Was she sick? Like, was she
yeah,
really sick?
yeah.
Cancer?
Heart problems.
Oh, heart problems?
Mhm.
Yeah, that part I'm not perfect at. Like, cause of death, I don't know that. But I mostly get messages from them like, I love you, I'm here for you, and any messages they might send me. But
I've had several mediums on, and they've always said they picked up a feminine energy around me. So
yeah, I wonder if she's meant to be one of your guides now,
I don't
going
know, but
forward.
I feel her around a lot, especially when I'm in my kitchen.
Yeah, she does love you. There's definitely a connection there. I can definitely sense that she loves you. Um, and there's definitely a deep love and care there for you.
I was going to tell you, I understand how you feel about the last time you saw your sister. You had an argument before that, because that was a situation with my sister-in-law, Barb. Her and I always got along, and then we had an argument over the phone. I didn't like the way how she was treating someone, and I got onto her and I found out some things she wasn't that she was doing while she was professing to be a Christian. She was doing some things that was not right, and
Yeah.
I questioned her about that, and she was really nice to me, and I was the one judging her. And then next thing I know, she's had this massive heart attack and died. And so at her funeral, I'm kind of like praying, saying a prayer, and like telling her I'm sorry. And then I see her floating up the aisle between the rows, and she turns and smiles at me and turns right back, and she goes up behind her children who had been up singing songs. And so it kind of like broke the ice when I seen her smile at me. And so I said, "Hey, Barb, why don't you tell your kids to sing Amazing Grace? I don't like these songs they're singing." And kind of chuckled. And I saw her bend over and whisper, she was standing behind her son, Jesse, whisper something in his ear. And I thought, oh my gosh, if he sings Amazing Grace, I'm going to fall off my chair. And he stood up and he said, "We didn't plan this, but I just heard mom telling me to sing this." He got his sisters up there and they sang Amazing Grace. I kid you not.
Oh wow.
And
It,
it's funny.
yeah. Well, Barb. I wonder if I feel her more so than Janice
Maybe.
because I mean I feel Janice a little bit, but not every spirit is always willing to talk. So it's kind of like you have to. Now Barb seems like she's more open.
Yeah. Barbara's my
Barb,
age. Yeah. Younger, maybe. Yeah. She's younger than me.
oh, she's
Just a little
yeah.
younger. But yeah,
She seems like she likes to laugh a lot. Barb
she
does.
was. She was a very happy person.
She laughed a lot. I mean, Janice has a sunny disposition, but I'm picking up more on Barb. She just laughs. She loved to laugh. I wonder if she liked to ever. I don't know if this is Barb or Janice, but I'm picking up something to do with gardening, like flowers and
That would be
plants, and
Janice.
that would
Before
be
Janice
Janice.
died, she would say, "I just want to get my hands in the dirt." She wanted to garden so bad because she was a farmer.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up on gardens and plants. She loved nature. I think Barb does too. I think they both do. But yeah, I'm picking up on gardening all of a sudden. So I do pick up on things, but sometimes it takes a while for the spirit to talk. Sometimes they approach me if they have something they want to say. But Barb definitely forgave you a long time ago for that argument. She definitely forgave you. I can give you that much.
Yeah. But I know what that's like to have that guilt. The last time you talked to them, you had an argument and then they die suddenly like that. And it's
Yeah.
difficult.
Well, she does forgive you, and She she gives you a hug. Was she a hugger? Like, did she like to hug?
I'm not a hugger. She was. I'm not a hugger. And I
Yeah,
asked her son, I waited till a couple years after Barb's death before I asked him, before I told him what I just told you. And he says, "Oh, I know that's true." He says, "Because she did. She whispered in my ear, she wanted me to sing Amazing Grace." He says, "I know you're telling me the truth." So,
yeah. She's a hugger. She wants to give you a hug and say that it's all okay. That's the message she wanted me to pass along.
is there anything else you'd like to add?
Uh, Not really. I hope you enjoyed my story. It's different, and I hope you liked my reading. I'm just kind of nervous being put on the spot like that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought, well, hey, what are we going to talk about now?
But I hope you liked it, and I hope I did a good job.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So are you open for anyone to contact you if anybody wants a reading, or are you just kind of like wait, like to have them approach you and do it like that? Because it might be hard to summons it because I'm like that too. Like my gifts, I don't bring on. They come to me. I never know what's going to happen. So, some people can like summons those things. I can't.
Um. See, that's the thing. I don't. I mean, I guess I would be open to a reading. I could give them my email address, but I don't. I'm kind of hesitant. I usually do it for family and friends
Okay.
because
We'll leave it at that then.
um I mean, I don't mind. I can give an email address if anybody's interested, but just my the only thing I would say is the spirits don't always want to talk. They come to me when they want to talk, and I just listen. I don't start. All I do is open the channel. I don't start communication. They have to start the communication. So if they don't want to talk, then yeah.
I find it
At least
interesting
that's
that
how.
that you're not an empath with people, but you are with spirits. I find that interesting.
I mean, I do feel to an extent, but doing like feeling the living's emotions. I mean, I can to an extent, but I'm better with spirits. Always have been. Spirits have always been. They always come to me. They always tell me things,
Well, you can see
and
them, right? Where people not so much, I guess.
mostly I feel them more than see them.
Okay.
But I can. But I know they're there. But I mean, I guess if I didn't want to turn this into a profession, but hey, um, I guess I could give my email address, and if anybody wants, or what I could do is, if anybody wants a reading, they can comment, and if it's in enough demand, then I could put my email address in the comments, and they could reach out that way.
Okay.
Or should I do it that way?
Yeah, I can put it in the description on your video.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't do great being put on the spot, but I did my best.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And bye-bye.
Bye bye.